What up, you guys? It is Punksnugglybear, and today we are playing a little strategy game, a little known strategy game. Or I don't know if it's a little known. I never knew about it. Called North and South. So it is a strategy game like Conflict, where you have positions, you move in a hexagonal map somewhat. It's representation of the North and South during the Civil War. As you see, I am playing the North, and it's a turn-based strategy game. So you move your people into the positions that you want. You can take over any unoccupied states, as long as the state you're in is touching the other state. So the main point of the game is that you want to control the 2 points or be by the 2 points at the end of a railroad track to gain enemies, and then fight the enemy and destroy all of his resources. What I like about this game is that you control the fight sequences. So right now, if you look in the upper left, I am controlling the little I was controlling the cavalry, and then I switched over to control the riflemen. And it gives you, you choose when to shoot, you choose when to move, and you can control moving forward and backwards. And so it's like the aspect of the combat of this game, for me, I find really fun, just because you can move in 2D, so up, down, left, and right. But as you saw there, I was gaining resources because I owned the states where both of the train tracks end. And then you can also combine units if you want. So if you have two units, one unit move into a space where another unit already occupies, your army will grow and they'll double up. And then once you get actually 5 money bags, you get another resource, so you get another unit there. So I think that's a really cool mechanic of gameplay. This game is not like longevity. It doesn't have a story mode or anything like that. It is a pretty much just like jump in and play type of game, because each of the scenarios are going to be the same. But what you can control is like special effects. So you can create where there will be Indians in the game, says Indians, on the field of play, which will cause a problem, or lightning or flooding, which add different aspects. And then you can also choose the strength of your army. So as you see right here, I have 1 horse versus a full complete militia, and of course the horse is going to get sniped and I lose this battle. But it's something that I think is really cool. I don't play a lot of strategy games. I've been trying to diversify my portfolio when it comes to games, because I play a lot of the action-adventure games on the NES and Super Nintendo. And this is one of the games where I really branch out. One of the games I really enjoy. Plus, it is 2-player, so if you do have a friend or a buddy that wants to play along, like, they can be the North, you could be the South. But I was saying earlier, you can change the level of the units. I believe there is 1, 2, and 3. So 3 being the strongest, 1 being the easiest. You can even set yourself to being handicapped. There's destructible environments in this game, so as you see here, I can blow up the bridge to prevent the enemies from coming over it. Also, portions of the river are too deep for the people to cross. If you look at the very top, you see there is another path if the bridge was to be destroyed, where you can cross over those rocks. But you want to use the different types of units that you have. So you have your cavalry unit, who has the sword, who's fast and has the mobility. You have the cannoneer, who's able to shoot and blow up things, so you can blow up the bridge. And then you have the regular riflemen, who are probably going to be your most versatile unit in this game, just because you can use them. So, as you see there, I've stacked my 2 armies on top of each other to combine into a stronger one. But what I was saying about the riflemen is that those are the ones, they move slow, but it's a firewall of shots. You have 6 of them in your standard unit, and you can just fire at enemies at will. But as you see also, though, once you leave a state, it leaves the little American flag or Confederate flag behind. So it's very like it's all about resources. You want to trap as many of these states as possible into as many connecting points as a railroad as possible, and then destroy the enemies. There is a cool feature when you take over a base or you try to take over a train, which is that you will go into this like side-scrolling platform type of scenario. As you saw there, my cavalry mowed down his entire brigade army, his cavalry, and his cannoneer, so it wasn't too much. I think though, for this one, it is definitely a little too easy because I'm just like strolling through, taking over everything. But I don't want to, because I believe if you just kill the last enemy, the last enemy that they have on the board, or the last group of soldiers they have on the board, the game ends. I like exploring, like more so just taking over the full board itself and then claiming victory at the end. Because in these like early games, you could pretty much just end the game if you're good enough right in the beginning. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of an animation that like, oh, a guy's jumping on the train trying to take control. Now I have to say, these are the worst like platforming controls I've ever probably touched. The jump is wonky. The throwing knife is weird. The top allows you to know how many Confederate soldiers you're facing up against. And then you can see at the bottom you're at a time limit. So you have that much time to get to the front of the train. As you saw there, I gave up because I already messed up the first hit. If you do get hit, you go down, but you can almost stand up like immediately. So I should have done that. I just was not prepared. And then so here is another simulation where I'm taking over a base. So same concept, it is the side-scrolling platforming on a timer. There's explosives you can hit on the ground. The only thing that isn't on the level is health. You don't have health. The only health you have is the time bar at the bottom. Okay, and so you're gonna watch me struggle for a little bit here, because like I said, I have the hardest time with the controls. The jump on this has such a weird like input timing. Like you have to hit it so early and without holding the controller or without holding a direction. Like you have to press it and then hold a direction for him to jump properly. It's probably not as hard as I think it is. I just need to get better at it because like the timer's halfway across the screen and I'm stuck trying to skip over this little pink gap. So first success there, and then you're gonna see me just like slowly walk up to the edges here and try to do quick little hop overs because that's how I feel this game needs to be played. But I like though in this game it has the dimensions of like things scaling up, so you can jump on the front of the wagon, you can stand on top of the wagon, the ladders allow you back and forth, there's more explosives on the ground, there's more than just one different type of way you can fall off the roof when running around, there's dogs that attack you, which I always think is funny. That little like brown dash at the bottom is a guard dog or an attack dog that comes over and will chomp at your legs and stun you for a second. But the timer, as you can see, it moves very slowly because even with all of that struggle, I was able to go down and raise my blue flag. Oh yeah, in the middle of this weird desert with this wall that you can see through. But if you take over the base, you actually take over the surrounding areas near it. So as you saw, I took over the base, but then I took over Louisiana. Oh my God, my was it 10th grade history teacher is going to be mad. 10th or 11th grade, where we had to remember the states and capitals and then countries and everything. I think that's Louisiana. Please don't crucify me if I'm wrong about that one. But then just moving around. So another base takeover here. This should be I think Georgia over Florida. I'm I really need to go back to like 5th grade and then relearn my states and capitals, or just watch the Animaniacs tell me what they are again, and then do the Animaniacs countries one, which I'm actually looking forward to because they're rebooting the Animaniacs series coming to Hulu, and then they will also actually have the old full series to rewatch. So you know what? Then I'll know my states and capitals, and I'll know my countries. So I just need to go back to watching a kids show. And then, as you saw right there, that's how the dogs can take in place. And you start off with, I forgot to mention, you start off with throwing knives, and you only have a certain amount, and then you just get to punching. But man, are you a superhuman, because you punch one of these guys, they go flying off the screen like it's like Punch Out. That's what this guy should have been. Instead of a soldier, he should have joined the Punch Out ranks. He'd definitely be Glass Joe. Was it Glass Joe? I think it's Glass Joe. And all the guys there, I think he would be number one. He may even give Mike Tyson a run for his money because he's got that one punch power. And then another base taken over. Somewhat weird. I don't remember like these weird cliff things being in Georgia. I don't remember that being in a national park. Maybe it is. I'm not 100% sure. But I take Florida over as well. It's funny seeing like 5 of my guys to just the one little Confederate soldier on the place. And then I'm just going to combine these guys. I should come up top and then combine these guys. And then, so as you can see, I took over another portion of the train, so the train's going through that way. And then I'm just going to go back and take more of these lands, just back from this one guy, just so that I can take over the rest. And then we'll initiate the final battle of the war. Oh, at the bottom, and this is the one thing I forgot to mention. There's so many little things that I forget to mention. When you're not fighting, and once the horses are in motion, they have to run to the side of the screen. There is no pulling back. They are going to come over and attack. I almost moved up my foot soldiers into the cannoneer, which would have been bad. But at the bottom of the screen, it has the month and year. So the year also is a determining factor for how difficult the game is, and the month just tells you how long. So it'll say, well done, you put the end to this bloody world by defeating the South in 12 months. It's time for freedom. Well, I thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, have a good one.